literally get things ripped off of you by this type of style and the power of world class wrestlers who are taught submissions. Uh, Bad things can happen to you very fast, as like a Hoist Gracie found out against Matt Hughes. Two
Oh
totally
yeah,
different level of monster, right?
absolutely. Matt Hughes totally dominating Hoist, and when he hooked Hoist, Hoist was pretty much going to just let his arm break out of pride. And if you watch Matt Hughes, a match that he had against Renzo Gracie, Renzo Gracie's top student, the name escapes me. He caught that opponent in a front headlock and choked him out. And in wrestling, and a lot of times those of us who go from the amateur wrestling into the grappling and MMA, there's a lot of stuff in wrestling that is dirty wrestling. A move that we call a pancake out in the Midwest, I think they call it a cow catcher. Just one example where you grab the chin and you turn it and you pancake the guy over. Well, if I take that neck and I twist it and I put my chest on top and drive, that's a neck crank. That's just one example. Double wrist lock. If you watch, Mark Schultz broke one of his opponent's arms in the Olympics with that double wrist lock throw. There are moves in amateur wrestling, just a front headlock, you can choke a guy out. And if you're a dirty wrestler, sometimes you can choke a guy out in a match and pin him and then just pinch him and wake him up. So the sport of wrestling never really lost its roots. With respect to it being punishing. It's just that the rules changed. And going back to the Rough and Tumble book, when I researched it, it was a gentleman named Hugo Optopolik that changed the rules of scholastic wrestling and took out the chokes. They had toe holds. They had leg locks. A lot of folks look at John Danaher as this visionary creating stuff. He didn't create anything. All of that stuff came out of the catch wrestling, came out of Sambo. They didn't have leg locks in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It was frowned upon. So really, this is the roots of grappling, and all submissions are going to be legal here. So when you get a guy off the wrestling mat who's a bit of a dirty wrestler, he can use those techniques to win in this regard, in this rule set.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because Matt Hughes back in the day, the Gracie family said, well, Matt Hughes just used Brazilian Gracie Jiu-Jitsu to beat Hoist. And Matt goes, and I publicly went, that's not even remotely true. He hit a duck under and got a takedown. Hoist tried to regain guard. Matt stopped it with put him in a half Nelson and shut it down. Matt was using literally all wrestling technique. It's like in wrestling, when you're a leg rider, you're a leg rider. So all those types of things that they were accusing Matt of. So Matt made it the point when he went up against Renzo Gracie's student, hit him with a front headlock and choke him unconscious with a front headlock. And in the interview, even pointed out and said to everybody, I just want to make sure that we're very clear that was a wrestling technique that choked him unconscious.
Absolutely. With American wrestling. And, Nelson's too, when in coaching, I show the full Nelson on the ground, and everybody that I show that to, coaching here in Florida and Fighting Edge and any clinics, they love it because it's such a brutal hold. That full Nelson on the ground, it actually becomes a choke. It's a neck crank that becomes a choke.
It puts you to sleep. It will absolutely put you to sleep.